Hey YouTube, CharlieorNaught's from Team Proxy here with my first deck profile. I'll be profiling Frognarch. It's a pretty standard build. I'll be explaining a couple things, but otherwise, it's pretty good. Start off, 3 swap. It gets your stuff into the graveyard. It's the main engine. It's really good. 2 Treeborn. This is what you want to get into the graveyard. Comes back every turn if you have no back row, which you never do in this deck. Just use it for tribute fodder. Next, 2 Ronin Totem. Most people run 1, but I'm not running dupe, so I run 2 because I like to have things to dump in with swap. This also special summons from the graveyard. It's just a bit harder to do that. Next is the Monarchs. 3 Caius. He's really, really good. He removes from play pretty much anything on the field. Deals damage to them if it's dark. Good beater, good damage, good removal. I mixed it up. Alright. 1 Fishborg Blaster, this should have been in with the frogs. You sync him with Treeborn for formula, and then with formula for other level 6s for level 8. It's pretty good, comes back from the graveyard, so that works. You can sync it to formula over and over again. Continuing with the Monarchs, 3 Ryza. He's really good. He returns stuff from your opponent's field to the top of the deck, limits their draw, gets rid of whatever they have on the field. Even really good against synchros because they go back to the extra deck. Next I have 2 Mobius. I really hate on spell and traps in this deck, and he just gets rid of them. Then there's 2 Jinzo. This one actually used to be a Light and Darkness Dragon, but Light and Darkness was losing me a lot more games than it was winning me, and Jinzo, on the other hand, was winning me tons. So I switched around, and it works really well. Then I have 1 Dark Dust. When you play him, he destroys all the other face-up monsters on the field. Really good for a comeback. He just attacks for 2,200. Then he comes back to your hand because he's a spirit, and you can do that every turn because of Treeborn. Then I have 1 Obelisk. He's devastating. When he comes down, people don't know how to deal with him. 4,000 attack is a lot, and he can't be targeted. So they're going to have to use their Dark Hole, their Torrential Tribute, and anything that mass removes. It's pretty cool. Then I have 3 Battle Faders. Stops OTKs. You drop him. Next turn, he's Tribute Summon material. Really good. Speaking of stopping OTKs, 1 Gores. Pretty much the same reason as Battle Fader. Not much to be explained. On to Spell and Traps. 2 Soul Exchange. I would be running 3, but I like my Battle Phase as it is. And gets rid of your opponent's monsters, gets your own out. It's pretty cool. Next, 3 Enemy Controllers. This may be my favorite card in the entire deck. At the beginning of your standby phase, you can bring back Treeborn Frog, then sacrifice it with Enemy Controller to take control of one of your opponent's monsters. Because it's still your standby phase, you can bring back Treeborn. So pretty much in this deck, it's Change of Heart. There's no difference. Then there's 1 Foolish Burial to get Fishborg and Treeborn into your graveyard. Pretty standard. 1 1-for-1. Pretty much the same thing as Foolish Burial, just get whatever you don't have already. On to Staples. 3 Book of Moon. Stops everything. Stops Synchro Summoning. Stops attack. You can use it offensively. You can use it defensively. Just a really versatile card. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. Just hates on back row. Don't have Heavy Storm, so that's the best you're going to get. 1 Giant Trinade. In this deck, it's strictly worse than Heavy Storm, but there's none of that, so this will make do. 1 Cold Wave, stops you from being disrupted, just good for finishing. Then there's these 2. I'm pretty sure you know they're unbanned. Everybody should be running them. They're amazing. Although I would prefer Heavy Storm over Dark Hole in this deck. Next is my extra deck. I'm running 3 Formula Synchrons. I only actually have 1. This is my teammate's. I'm borrowing it from him for the time being. It's really good. You sync into it with Fishborg and Treeborn Frog. Then you sync it together into something like Stardust Dragon, which I'm running 2 of. Really good. Stops destruction. If you have this on the field with Jinzo, your opponent can't deprison it, so it's even better then. And if you can get Formula Synchron out again, you can sync from Stardust Dragon into Shooting Star Dragon. This card has what I like to call the Obelisk effect. People also don't know how to deal with this guy. He stops monster effects, he stops attacks, he stops anything that would destroy anything. And again, still really good with Jinzo because Deep Prison doesn't work. Then I have one Scrap Dragon. Use Treeborn with him for constant tributes for destroying your opponent's cards. 2800 is a pretty good beater. All around good card. One Colossal Fighter, pretty much just for defense. If I'm in a bad place, I can play him instead of Stardust, and just he keeps coming back. He can't be destroyed. Well, he can. He just regenerates himself. Then I have one Black Rose. I can sync for this with Fishborg and Mobius. Good for a comeback. Just blows up the field. You know what he does. Then I'm running one Gungar. He's really cool. You discard cards. You destroy your opponent's cards. He's a pretty good beater. Just all around good cards. And that's my deck profile. Thanks a lot, YouTube, for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.